It kills me that you want to start your own business as a hospitality entrepreneur, but you keep coming up with these excuses of why you can't. Oh, I need to get these licenses. I need to apply for this. I need to get a bank loan to start the business, to lease out the commercial kitchen. I need to hire staff. How am I going to manage labor? I need to do a payroll and all this stuff. Stop giving yourself these excuses, because this is not what it takes to start your own catering business. In this podcast, I want to teach you the 5 steps to your first side catering job. This is a prelude to my full and complete training. 5 steps to your first high-paying catering client. You can learn more about that in the free training in the link in the description. Sign up for that free training right after this video. But let me take you through the 5 steps of starting your own catering business. And it's not anything that you think it is. So the first step that we want to talk about, we want to build the foundations for your success. This you will get caught up on, and I swear to God, you will give yourself every excuse in the book not to get past the first step. The first step is to get through the myths of starting your own catering business. You think you need this, you think you need that. I just told you about it. You think you need to hire staff, you need to get them payroll, you need an HR department. You think you need all these things, but you really don't. All you need is you and your experience in executing proper food preparation and hospitality. That's all you need to get started. This is part of your first step foundations. You need to know what you need. In the second part of the foundations step, this is still the first step, step 1, foundations. The second part of the foundations is getting the licenses you need to operate. Listen, if you're a professional in the industry, you need to get ServSafe certified. You don't need to, just as much as you don't need to pay for the items that you get at the store. You can just walk out the front door and not pay, but that's illegal. But you risk the chance of getting caught if you do that. So it's optional to you if you want to follow, the law. You want to get your ServSafe certification. You want to get a food service license. It's not hard to do that. Just go and get the food service license. But again, it's optional. You don't have to pay your taxes. But if you get caught, you're going to go to jail. So it's up to you on whether or not you want to, take that risk. But, get your ServSafe, get your food service license. And you don't need to register a business. So let's get that out of the way now. You do not need to register a business. Because you're going to operate as a sole proprietor. But you could, if you want to have some LLC or whatever at the end of your business name, you feel important. You don't need to do any of that. So there's your foundations. Get over yourself and thinking that you need to buy this stuff up front, because you don't. The deposit that you get from your prospective client or your closed client, the deposit that you get is going to pay for the equipment that you need, the food that you need, the staff that you need. That's the first step, foundations. Second step, I call it the warm up. In order for you to start this catering business on the side while you're working a full-time job, by the way, don't worry, I won't tell your employer. While you're working your full-time job and starting this catering job, you need to look at your war map. And it's a map basically in your head of the resources that you will use around you to execute these jobs. Where are you going to shop for the food? You're not going to go to the local grocer for everything. You're going to go to the local grocer for a minimal amount of the product that you're going to order for these events, because you're going to be taking on events of 30 people or more. That's what I teach you to do in the course that you get the free training in the description. Click that link and sign up for it. You need to buy bulk. So are you going to go to a restaurant supply store, a bulk wholesaler? You need to figure out where these places are in your war map that's in your head of where you're going to shop for these items. Where are you going to shop for buffet decor? Are you going to go to Goodwill? Yeah, you're going to go to Goodwill for buffet decor. Why wouldn't you? You're not going to buy new off of Amazon, but at worst case scenario, yeah, you can go online and buy online, and that's part of your war map. The other part of your war map is help. Some of these events you're going to take on, you don't know, and you can't do them by yourself. So you may need someone to help you with a portion of the execution. Preparation, I feel like you can usually, especially starting out, you can usually take care of it on your own. But if you need help with preparation, it's going to cost you a little more money. But think about the people in your direct circle that can help you with events. And think about people just outside your circle of friends. Maybe they're friends of friends that can help you with events and serving events and delivering events and being nice and gracious to customers. And you can give them a couple $100 to help you. It means the world to have somebody help you with an event that you think you can't do by yourself. And by all means, don't do an event by yourself that you don't think you can do by yourself. Book the event, even though you think you can't do it by yourself. Just book the event anyway. And then find the people that you need and pay them. And the other part of developing your war map is thinking about where you're gonna prepare the food, where you're gonna borrow, not rent, not purchase, where you're going to borrow the equipment that you might need to execute the event. Use your circle of connections to figure out how you're going to execute that, and just have that written down on a piece of paper if you need it, or in the back of your mind. Where are you going to get to access these resources for your war map? So we did step 1 is the foundations. Step 2 is developing your war map and how you're going to execute these events. Step 3 is extremely, extremely important. And I call it the menu guide step. Step 3, you need to learn how to write attractive, tasty menus based on what your client tells you. I have a few hours worth of material just on that in my official course from my elite training. You can get a taste of it in the free training in the description. You can click in the link in the description and sign up for that. But you need to know how to write attractive menus. And the second part of the menu guide, this is the third step to your 5 steps. The third step of the menu guide is pricing a menu for profit. I have a podcast that I've already released about pricing a menu properly. I can give you a free spreadsheet that'll teach you step by step how to properly price and cost a menu so that you actually walk away with a good chunk of change. You get that free menu costing spreadsheet when you sign up for the free training in the description. You need to learn this. Menu writing, an event, pricing, and costing. And you also need to learn step 4, the stranger to client process. This is the meat and potatoes of my elite online course and of the free training in the description. You need to learn how to develop the contracts and negotiate the deal with the client that you've approached for your side catering job. How to do that? I outline step by step. I teach you how to do it from start to finish, from texting them to messaging them on the Thumbtack app that I teach you about downloading. It's a free resource for you to get catering leads. Starting there to getting on the phone, I give you a full sales script, and we went through a couple case studies of going through the sales script with your prospective catering clients. We show you how to figure out what they want, take it back, cost it out, and come back to them the next couple days with a quote and some pricing, how to collect a deposit, and how to actually book the event. That's step 4, the stranger to client process. So we got our foundations in step 1. Step 2, we figured out our war map. Step 3, our menu guide. Step 4, our stranger to client process. Step 5 is where you take the money to the bank. You learn hospitality service. Working in the back of the house, you guys, a lot of you guys are chefs and you want to start your own catering business. You work in the back of the house. You may not be working with the guest day to day. I'm telling you, it's a different environment when you're working with the guest. You need to be of top-notch hospitality service, and it helps to do some research in that. I teach you about that in my elite course. I'll teach you about that in the free training below as well. So hospitality is something you need to learn, and then you also need to execute the event properly. Execute the event properly. Do a site visit beforehand. Bring some heavy equipment beforehand if you need to. Once you're at the event, you have minimal preparation that you're actually doing at the event, and you are constantly making the guest feel welcome and warm because of your hospitality. And then, of course, at the end of step 5, the execution phase, at the end of step 5, you're collecting that final payment. You want to get the money. Get the money and take it to the bank. And we'll teach you that in our 5 steps to your first high-paying catering client. That's my elite course that you can learn about just after you get my free training called 30 Days to Your First High-Paying Catering Client. You can get that. Sign up in the link in the description. You can learn more about what we just talked about here. I'll see you on the next podcast.